Hold on 2 seconds. Something went wrong here. ちょっと待って。Ah, there we go. Well, there's no audio there anyway. Anyway, hello, konnichiwa. Hola, hola everyone. Welcome to the stream. Something happened in my OBS and like some settings were off. And I was like, wait, what? Like as soon as I changed screens, things disappeared and I was like, what? But yeah, hello everyone. Hi, confused. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. No worries. Hello, Gerardo. Welcome. Glad to see you here. Let me just put on some background music because I forget that this room has no music due to it always being where I put the games. Hold on. Room music. There we go. I think this should be good-ish in volume, but let me know if it's too quiet. Microphone is gonna be a little complicated with the drawing tablet right beside it, but yeah. Hello. So, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's been a little hectic, not gonna lie, for it being so early in my opinion. But I guess that is due to family being like here over at my house, and I'm just not used to it. Even my doggo came over like to the room just to chill because we both are not used to this many people. So yeah, I had begun whatever to sketch this little guy, which is a sphere, if I remember correctly. Because I have some pending illustrations that well, just one technically, from the last drawing stream that I did. And also I had a couple of ideas since it was a lot of people's birthdays as well over on the server lately. So yeah, I already sort of have like an idea-ish of what I want to do. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it all today though, because I am sadly on a time limit due to, you know, the whole family thing. But and also I have some friends over later today because, you know, celebration and all of that. So aside from that, I do have a couple of questions here that some of you guys left me over on the Discord server. If you guys are not on the Discord server, what are you waiting for? Come join us. We're pretty chill for the most part. I do not take responsibility over Kondo. He can be something sometimes, but yeah, other than that, pretty chill. So I do have a couple of questions here, a bunch actually, from Con no less. So we can get started while I try to like talk and sketch at the same time. Let me just look at what a spiel looks like. Actually, you know what? Maybe I should put up the reference here, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to like do both things at the same time probably. Or not, because this is a format that I can't quite use. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Converter. Hello, Soto. Welcome. Thank you. By the way, if you guys have a Twitter, go to Twitter and see the art that Soto made for me. It's really cool. I actually liked it a lot. Oh, the screen went black. I forgot that if I minimize the window capture, it just disappears. Yeah. So yeah, sorry if I'm a little out of it. Again, like it's been pretty hectic. Yesterday we had a whole trip that I did not plan out, so you know, I'm still like a little out of sorts, so to speak. But yeah, there he is, reference picture. I just want to see. There we go. Now for the first question that I have here is favorite game you have streamed and why? Favorite game I have streamed. Which games have I streamed? Oh, well, actually, it's not that complicated. I know there's a bunch of that I don't remember right now. But the one that is my #1 favorite game of all time, I got to stream, which is A Space for the Unbound. As to why, I think the story is pretty good in general, but also, I don't know if this is how big Field's ears are, but we'll figure it out. I think the gameplay is fun. It can be a little repetitive from time to time because it's a lot of like scavenge hunt here and there. But I think they split it around pretty nicely, so it doesn't feel like boring. The story is really like the main thing from that game that I really like, which I can't get into details without spoiling, so I would recommend that if you guys have like the opportunity to buy the game and play it, do it. Because it's a really good game to experience like completely blind. I'm glad you like it, haha. It was kind of speedrun. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I really liked the armored Batwing. It was really cool. But yeah, so what was I saying? Right, so it's a really good game to experience completely blind. So yeah, it was mainly the story what really. It's pretty relatable in some areas for me, at least. Like it hit home. So and I think it's really well structured, and again the gameplay is really fun. So I would say A Space for the Unbound and totally recommend it. I vouch for it being a great game. Everyone should play. Yeah, everyone should play A Space for the Unbound at least once. I've been thinking of replaying it on my own, actually, but time. Yeah. Okay, I'll move on to the next question in a sec. I just want to. Are these what they look like? They're like a little more thin, right? I've never drawn a field before. This is the first time. So I have no idea what they are supposed to properly look like. You know, I was actually gonna give this to Con, but since he's being a little bitch about getting old today, I might not. Anyway, okay, second question is sort of the same as just least favorite game you have streamed and why. Now, those are very particular games. Well, actually, there hasn't been really a whole lot of games that I haven't liked that I've streamed. But unless there's another one, which I would have to check real quick, I think I also have like my answer pretty clear. That is not okay. I'll redo that in a sec. Let me just check. What have we played? So just for context, we've played Deltarune a bunch of times, Doki Doki Literature Club, Grimm's Hollow, Gris, Amnesia Memories. Oh, The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. That's been quite a while since I played that. Genshin. I tried playing Sonic Adventure, but my computer back then couldn't handle it. Nekopata, Therapy with Dr. Albert Kruger, Undertale, which I still haven't finished for obvious reasons, Ultimate Chicken Horse, Taste of the Past, Ballads at Midnight, Trap with Jester. Oh, I forgot about that one. Stillwater and Night Shift, It Gets So Lonely Here, an attempt at Ultimate Custom Night, Refined Self. Ooh, it's been a while since that one as well. Thank you, CC. Welcome, welcome. Florence, Bread and Fred, Someone Stole My Lunch. We've played a couple of old ones here and there. A Space Radio Bound, I Died with Death. But I think one of my least favorites, like, because now I'm just gonna like to Omori and Slay the Princess, which is like also one of my favorite games. Probably number 2, second favorite game. Mad Father, Unsorted Horror. I would say that definitely it's my least favorite. I would have considered Trap with Jester, but Trap with Jester, it was just odd. I didn't necessarily dislike it, but it was just odd to me. But the one that I really couldn't get into, and I tried 2 streams and then decided that I was gonna give it one last chance on a 3rd stream, and then that never happened, was Hive Swap Friend Sim, which is a game from like the what's it called? What is the name of that like series franchise? Homestuck, I think. It's like from that. It's like a game based on that universe. And I was never a Homestuck kid. But it just never crossed my radar. So I don't really understand it. And what I saw, it was supposed to be like funny and stuff, but I wasn't really a particular fan of it. It might just come down to me not getting it because I didn't grow up with it like a lot of people did. But I remember having a really rough time with that game. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you. But yeah, I remember having a really rough time playing that game. And it was actually a recommendation by a viewer. Tom the Cat, if you're still out there, I do remember you. And nothing against them, like, at all. It was just that they liked the game, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. But I wasn't a particular fan of it, really. And it's still archived in the channel, so if you guys want to go see it, it's there. it exists, but I remember that one. I was really like, and I don't remember if I bought it or caught it on a sale or anything. Which also leads to the next question, which is like, what's your biggest purchase regret? It's probably that one. I think I did purchase it, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But again, like, nothing against the person who recommended it or anything, or even the game itself. It was just not for me. Like, I did not understand it, so it might just come down to that. But I just remember having a particularly like rough time getting through it, the little I got through it. So yeah, I don't think it was too expensive. I don't quite remember. It was like way in the beginning of my streaming career, like almost 3 years ago. So I think it wasn't that expensive, but then again, I don't quite remember. I just remember, like, by the end of it, I was like, maybe not. Maybe I should have bought that. If you want to get to more recent times, and it's kind of a meme at this point, probably Bendy, but then again, I can't really regret it fully because it was a 3-game bundle and it was really cheap. So, and I haven't experienced the other games, like the other 2 games, to like say, oh, I completely regret buying the bundle, my goodness, or anything like that. But the main game, the Bendy and the Ink Machine #1 game, after the whole shenanigans with the bugs and stuff, I was like, I kind of want my $3 back. I like the game itself is fine-ish, as in, I have nothing against the franchise or Bendy itself. It was that I had a lot of problems while playing. I had a lot of bugs that set me back like 3 times. Well, it was more that the last one was during the chapter selection that I didn't know that it didn't save your progress, because before that the game itself bugged me out of my progress and I couldn't really do anything. Like, I couldn't even progress the game. So that's why I'm like, and then that one time I was like, okay, I'll just do chapter selection, redo the entirety of chapter 3, and then move on to chapter 4. But I didn't have time to keep playing chapter 4, so I left it like halfway through the gameplay, and when I came back, all my progress was gone, and that was more on me. But at that point, I was so frustrated that I was like, you know what, I don't want to play this game anymore. And then, like, I left it for a month, and recently we finished it. So it manages if they patch the game. The funny thing is that according to Khan and the meat leads himself, they did patch the game like back in December, but I still had a lot of issues. I don't know if it's due to me playing with controller or what, but that it was sometimes it was not such a fun time. So yeah. That's why I'm like, it's more of a meme, me being like, oh, it's one of my biggest regret purchases, but it's just that it just comes down to those issues that I had. And also, I still got beef with the translations, because apparently, right, like, the game doesn't have it so you can select the language that you want to play in. It just grabs the language your computer is in, and so my game was in Spanish. I have nothing against that. It was just like a little odd because, you know, I stream in English. So in the end, like, we took it as a little joke of like, oh, Bendy en español, Bendy the Explorer, you know. But the translations are so obviously done with like the Google Translate from back then that there are sometimes sentences that don't make sense and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, please let me do you the, like, give me the script and I'll translate it for you. I don't want to see it's kind of sad that this is the experience for gamers that do not speak English, you know, the Spanish speaking people that do not, like, maybe don't know English for Google Translation. Yeah, like, nowadays it's a little better, right? Like, nowadays I can be like, okay, yeah, it's fine for the most part, right? But that translation is like really odd. So I'm like, please let me. It's a little sad that that's like, for me at least, right? Maybe other people don't feel the same way, but I'm like, I feel like we deserve a proper translation. And I don't know what it's like in other languages because I don't speak other languages outside of English and Spanish. But yeah. Also, if you hear noises, those are my cousins being loud. So try to tune it out. But yeah. I agree 100%. Yeah. Anyway, let us move on to the next question, which is a hard one. Well, one that I just got on the Discord server is there is no bald there is no bald mode on your VTuber model, and the answer is no. Hello Tyler, welcome. This is not part of the questions that were originally asked, but I'm including it because I just saw it. And no, there is no bald mode on my VTuber model. It's funny and all, but I particularly don't like it, like, for myself. It's just a me thing. So no, there's no bald toggle for my VTuber model. Do I have a bald version? Yes, because I need it for mayhaps in the future, you know, a different outfit or hairstyle or whatever that I want to do with my model. But it's just not a toggle. So yeah. Yeah, Confused is here. In spirit, but he is here. Okay, so the next question actually was favorite fictional character. That's why it's like a little bit of a hard one. Because I have too many. Like, I have a hard time picking just one favorite fictional character. Because I always split things into categories, so. Also, at this rate, I'm only gonna draw this feel on this stream, and then there's gonna be nothing else. But yeah. Favorite character, favorite fictional character. If I say Elsa from Frozen, I feel like I'm gonna get roasted. She's just one of the many, but I guess there are okay. I have a lot of fictional favorite characters. A husbando. Oh, I also have a lot of husbandos. I think I have more favorite female characters, but also I have a lot of them. But there are like particular ones that are like more prominent, as in they had like bigger impacts on my life. So maybe I can answer those. Question mark. It's still not just one, but I don't think I have just one, you know. So one of them is Elsa. For multiple reasons. What is another character that I can talk about? Like, I would say like, oh, let's talk about K-pop Demon Hunters, but I don't know if I have a favorite character in that movie. I like all of them. You know, like, they're all great, especially Bobby. Bobby's great. But who else could I mayhaps choose as one of my favorite characters? Else I stop. Yeah. True. I don't think being alone for two. Oh, well. We're always here for you if you need us, Confused. But also we understand if you have your own things. Don't worry about it. Favorite characters. It's just that wow. What the heck was that? They're breaking down the house. When it comes to favorite characters, oh shoot, I should have. That's fine. I'll just do this. I think I'm a little embarrassed to say some of them just because they might seem childish, even though I have like reasons for liking them that are not really childish, but you know, doesn't mean like any weird stuff. Don't worry. Also, let me open the door for my doggo real quick. Or no, actually, let me just call him in because he does not want to get outside. I know. Leo, we won't judge your favorite fictional characters. Okay, I'm gonna give you a list, right? I think I've given also a list, but that was more like, oh, my husbando waifu list on the server. And I'm gonna give you a list of like, oh, these are like my particular favorite characters that I can name off the top of my head. So one of them is Elsa, I already mentioned. Another one is Cassandra from the Tangled series. Or Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure, whatever name goes by these days. Because it changed names like halfway through. That is my doggo that's here on my lap. Merlin from Seven Deadly Sins. Edmund from New Carnival. Nouvellette from Genshin Impact, and Kave as well. We saw that recently. Who else? Bisha Monten from Noragami. She didn't have like a super huge impact in my life, but I just remembered her. If we want to talk about like early awakenings, I guess Android 18 from Dragon Ball Z. Who else? Alpha from Wicked, the theatrical version. Theater version, the original version, the Broadway version. One of my favorites is Sonic the Warhog. This is a judgment from his untrust for me. I mean, it's like a very specific, but I can't really like judge you because I like Blaze, and people will call me a lot of things just for that. So yeah, Blaze is one of them. Blaze did have an impact in my life. I don't know if I want to get into Vocaloids. Even though Maple called me basic, and I'm like, they're part of the main 5, leave me alone. Who else? Yeah, you wanna give your opinion too? You also have favorite characters? Have you never mentioned this before? You want to steal the spotlight, don't you? This is my birthday stream. You already had your birthday. I think those are the ones that I remember like off the top of my head. Oh, Shinobu from Demon Slayer. And Rengoku. And Tengen. And if we want to get into more animes, Yor, Lloyd, Momo from Boku no Hero Academia. I haven't mentioned outside of Miku and Teto, so I can comment on Vocaloids. I particularly like, yes, I've always been a fan of Hatsune Miku, but she's like her own thing in my mind. When I think about like the main Vocaloids or the ones that are like the most popular or well known, at least back in like early 2010s. Well, let me open the door for my doggo. Hold on. Yeah, popular Vocaloids from like the 2010s, or just that are made of the, part of the main 5, are Meiko, Kaito, and Luca. But outside of those main 5, I remember liking Gakpoid a lot. I also remember liking Gumi a lot, and also, well, she has a lot of songs in general, but I think she had like a way stronger presence back then, and she's like coming back again. I also like her name. I always call her Ia because it starts with an I, and then that's her name. But I don't remember. Like, I don't know if that is just her name, or if she is like, it's an acronym for something. But I remember also liking her songs a lot. Nowadays, one of the ones that I see around a lot used is Flower, which I don't know if it's a recent one or just one that I didn't know until very recently. I think those are the ones that I remember off the top of my head that I was like, yeah, I like these Vocaloids. I remember also one named Oliver being particularly popular back then, but I think that is an English-only boys band. And I wasn't too familiar with those, so yeah. Will you be going to the Demon Slayer movie? Yes. Aside from me, like, actually wanted to go, I have a friend who's, like, even more of a fan than me, and he was like, the pre-sale, it's on my birthday, and we need to buy those tickets on my birthday. So I was like, okay. So we are going. I'm gonna go see it. I haven't watched any trailers or anything because I like going completely blind. So, yeah. Oh no, tears will be shed in movies 2 and 3. Oh my god, no, I can't do Mugen Train again. Let's just say that Tyler watched it early, but not at the cinema. But yeah. I think that's a good like end to the favorite character question. I'll also be taking like questions that you guys leave me here, so don't worry. I'm just going through like the Discord's ones first and balancing stuff and trying to finish this spiel. Only that is valid, cinemas are criminally expensive. I think it was more the case that Tyler wanted to see it like already to know like they did a good job. Yeah, impatient. Yeah, like it's kind of like very varying here depending on which cinema you go to. But the one that I used to like, that I usually go to like most of the times, is also getting like a little too expensive, and I'm like, why are you doing that? Inflation is real. You did a phenomenal job. Every scene is gorgeous. Ooh, I can't wait to see it. You thought Mugen Train was bad? Oh no. Oh no, I don't want to. My boy! Look what they did to my boy. My Rengoku. Oh well. Anyway, let me get to the next question. Favorite weapon? This one is very particular. I don't know why he asked that. But I in fact do have one. I don't know why I like bow and arrow a lot. The very concept of it, it's just very appealing to me. Even though I have horrible aim. Technically, I think I would be better off using things like swords and that kind of stuff that require like more. They do require precision, but it's more like about like strength as in handling them than like just relying on pure, precision. I feel like things like guns and bow and arrow. I do, but I am particularly like drawn towards bow and arrow. So yeah, archery representation, let's go. I've always wanted to do it, but I don't think I would have the time currently. I could maybe try to make some time for it, but I'm still like unsure if I would take it like more as a hobby or if I actually want to do it like a serious thing, And there's also not a lot of places that do it here, so it would probably be also a little expensive. So I would really have to like think about why and how I would like want to do that. So yeah, that is the only issue with that. Did they have like these marks on both cheeks? Oh, hold on, guys. Aunt came in to like sweep real quick. But she's gone now. It takes so much time and it is expensive, and the places to go are crowded and you can't just go whenever. Yeah, probably. I don't think here the crowding would be the issue, but I do think it would be like expensive. It's just like ice skating. I would do ice skating for a sport if, you know, the subscription to the ice rink weren't so expensive. You know, I guess like I've always been very particular about my sports, and the issue is that usually they're expensive sports. So yeah. I did do like running and basketball way back in the day. Like, oh my god, it's up. It will be like 2 decades ago in 3 years. Oh boy, I'm getting old. But yeah. And I liked running, but eventually I was like, I got tired of that. Also, that ice skating is only an option in winter. Well, here they have it 24/7. Like the ice rink, it's always here, so you can do it like whenever. The problem is that the subscription is not that cheap. Understandably so, but still. And I would also have to buy like my own skates and all of that, and yeah, it's a lot. But yeah. Outside of that, what else? Yeah, it's like the only ice rink here that does that. It's actually the only ice rink here currently, I think. But back in the day, there used to be another one, but they closed due to not being able to like maintain it because it cost a lot of money. This one, I don't know how they've done it, but they've been doing it, and it's been there for like 3 years at this point. And sometimes during Christmas season, the government, you know, sets an ice rink that it's like public and all that, but it's not very clean. So I don't like going there a whole lot. It is also like extremely crowded during that time, those ones. So it's better to go to like the one you have to pay for. Oh, what type of ice skating would you do if you did skating? Well, I like artistic competitions. I've actually been following it. Well, lately I don't follow them as much anymore. But when I was like in middle school, I used to watch a lot of ice skating competitions and stuff mostly on YouTube. I would like look up certain like events and stuff. There was this Russian girl that I liked a lot, but I don't remember how to pronounce her name. She was really, really, really cool. So I think artistic figure skating is what I would do. But then again, my knees. That would probably not be very beneficial for my knees. But still, you know, I would like to do that if given the chance. What was I answering? Oh yeah, we were in weapons and then we will switch to sports. It's in the same vein anyways, but yeah. Archery. Or bow and arrow, yes. Me like bow and arrow. What else? I'll get to the second question. I mean the next question in a sec. I just want to color the spiel first. And then I'll go to the next question, which is are ghosts real? I think the paranormal does exist, but I wouldn't necessarily like ghosts as we see them in movies and stuff. I don't think like it's quite that. I think it's more like energies in a way that like get left behind, maybe by, you know, the deceased and stuff, but not quite like ghosts, you know, like we see in movies and all of that. I would be more inclined to believe that, because there are things that happen that are like odd and stuff, and I never had it happen. I've actually, there was a time where sometimes the stereo would just like turn on by itself, and so to make it less scary I made it so like, oh yeah, I baptized the quote-unquote ghost of the house, and I called him Barbara. And so whenever like something weird happens and there's no explanation, I'm like, Barbara, chill, not right now. and that's how I cope with that. So I think not necessarily ghosts as we see them, or at least as they've been portrayed in media, but more like probably like some energies and stuff that are left behind, maybe. The next question is, are aliens real? And that one I flat out say no. Because I feel like if there was something out there, it would have already reached us somehow, you know? And I know it's like, oh, but what if we don't know it and they have and all of that? But I think with how humanity is and how easily we break into fights and stuff, someone would have already done something with it, in my opinion at least. So that's why, oh wait, that's the tongue. Okay, never mind, I can do this then. That's why I'm like not inclined to believe that aliens are real. I think something would have already happened if they were. Aliens would love YouTube. They would see all our little whimsy 24/7. But yeah, that's why I'm not like a alien believer, truther, whatever. So yeah, it's actually possible that we are one of the first species to be alive on the galactic scale. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. It's still like, you know, if another type of life form is developed, I think it would be more like by our hand than anything else. Or if it like it got created by like, I don't know, itself, evolution or whatnot. Because so far from what we know, there's not really like a lot of inhabitable spaces out there, for us at least, right? But there's no guarantee that something couldn't be like developed from those, or you know. But even then, I feel like they would somehow find out about us and then make contact, or the other way around, if there was really something. So until then, I don't believe there's anything else out there other than us and then the rest of the planets that are uninhabitable, you know. You could argue we've created life through robots. Yeah, like I think we could probably do like organic forms, but then again, it would be like by our hand and not because there was already like life out there, you know. That is what I think, though. I could be wrong. Pearly white fangs. We love fangs in this household. Well, my mom doesn't, but but she doesn't count on this. There we go. And then I'm only missing the cheeks color. What are the cheeks' color? Oh, it's like this pale blue, almost periwinkle like. Okay. And here. There we go. So I so believe we are not alone simply because it is a chance thing for life to be created, but the chance is extremely small, so the possibility of us ever meeting them is insanely small. That could also be it. I don't know. Sorry, I had something stuck. So yeah. Anyway, back to the questions. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? I think this has to do with, you know, it was popular for a while to be like 100 men versus a gorilla who would win. And I think a horse-sized duck is more manageable, or at least easier to run away from, than 100 duck-sized horses, you know? I don't think you're getting out of that one. Because horses can like trample you very easily. And also have a lot of strength. And I'm not doubting like ducks also have their own thing, because a lot of people are scared of ducks. A lot of people have been chased by ducks in their lives. But I think I would like manage more with a horse-sized duck than 100 duck-sized horses, because also ducks are not necessarily like super small. So you know, they could trample you pretty easily. And that would be painful. So no, thanks. A horse-sized duck is manageable, a horse-sized goose is death sentence. Probably, yeah. I do know that geese are more violent. They're more brutal. Although I've never encountered one to like confirm or deny. But yeah. I love that we went from like kind of content related questions to like random questions. That's very con of you. Con. Mr. William. Anyway. Will you ever stream anything besides games? See, back to content, like reacting to horror stuff. I mean, I've done the hand cams. I've been doing like very like scares, right? But like I've been doing the art streams and all of that. I don't know about reactions though. It's not that I don't have plans with those things. I do have plans with reactions. Haha. I just won't talk about it just yet because I need to finish working on a couple of things that I've been preparing. But I feel like reactions in stream form are a little complicated for me, at least. Like probably a lot of people do them with no problem. Like if especially over on Twitch, I've seen that it's like a lot of streamer content is like reactions, and in YouTube they're more like video format rather than streams. But it would depend on the thing, because for example, my Oshis are getting a concert in September, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I could do a watch along. But then again, most of you don't watch other VTubers. So I don't know how good that would be, right? When it comes to horror stuff, I'm not really into watching horror videos, horror related videos. I know I get a lot into like, ooh, FNAF, and you know, Bendy is considered horror as well, and Resident Evil and all that jazz. But reacting to videos, like just being there watching these things, I'm not that into like horror lore, in general, especially like analog horror stuff, to really give anything of value other than me maybe getting jump scared or perturbed. So yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't know necessarily about that. But if there are other things that maybe you guys like would want to see more of, I can totally like check it out and see like if it works, if it doesn't work, yada yada. But when it comes to reaction content, I have like other plans for it, and I don't know how well it would work like live anymore, you know. We did the like epic watch along and or listen alongs, and I think that those were it when it came to like reactions live. I already reacted to a couple of things on my own. Again, I have other plans for that. But outside of like those things that I'm like, oh, I'm interested in like reacting to this, I'll watch it and then, you know, something. I don't know. My other VTuber graduated, Miss Yukitanya. I'm so sorry. I know how rough graduations are. Trust me. I've had, let me count. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've had like 5 or 6 of my VTubers graduate, so I get it. It's not pretty. It's pretty painful. So I got you, Gerardo. Yeah. Tanya. I don't actually... Oh, my tablet disconnected for like 2 seconds. Oh god. Oh no. Uh-oh. What? My mouse is not reacting. Hello? Let me unplug. Something happened with my drawing tablet. Windows was making this weird noise. And it wouldn't let me like move my mouse. That was odd. Okay. Seems like it's goodish now. It's like the pen is not reacting. And my mouse doesn't really... What? Hold on. Uh-oh. What happened? We were doing fine. Hello? Oh no, please. We were doing fine. No, the pencil is not reacting, and then the mouse doesn't do anything either when I plug in the tablet back. Oh boy. I guess we only managed to do that feel and semi. Are you kidding? Come on, it's my birthday. Why are you doing this? He was really going for that scarf title. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything. It's like it disconnected for 2 seconds and then it just stopped working. I don't know if it has like a faulty wire, but I don't think so. Shouldn't be the case. Unless I try to use another one. No, it's just not reacting. Oh, there we go. Okay, please work. Please work. Now my mouse doesn't work. Hello? No, my pen doesn't work either. Like, I try to click, and this thing is not... Okay, good. It started working again, somehow. Good, I will take that as a win and just keep drawing. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah, that was my take on like reaction stuff. I don't know if you guys have any like other suggestions. I'm open to them. We can always try things out and then see if they work or not. How do we feel about them? Yada yada, you know. Yeah. Next, what's your biggest regret in YouTube? My biggest regret. Honestly, I don't know. Okay, what have I done on YouTube that I'm like, oh, maybe this or that? Streaming, I'm kidding. Maybe I would have started streaming sooner. I don't know. Like, I wasn't really into the whole streaming thing until like 2020. So, you know, even then I was like a year into actual YouTube. So, I think I got in like at a reasonable time-ish, you know? As in... Oh, sorry. Give me guys a sec. My aunt again. It's just that she's staying in this room. Because let me tell you, there's like 11 people in this household right now. So she's staying in this particular room, and so she just came in and was like, I just need to grab something. I'm like, okay, don't worry. I'm technically invading her space right now, but it's just, you know, it's just how things are right now. But yeah, what was I saying? I forgot. I forgot what I was talking about. Ah! Oh, my biggest regret on YouTube. Yeah, I think I got into streaming at like a reasonable-ish point. The thing with streaming is that I really didn't start on YouTube, so I don't think it would be like, oh, maybe I should have started sooner, because I didn't really know. I think even live streaming on YouTube wasn't that big even then, like, so it, I don't know. Because by the time I started doing streaming, I was already in my like my 3rd year of YouTube. So I don't know. Because technically, like I mentioned before, technically I did start in 2021, but that lasted for like 2 or 3 months, and then I had to completely stop because I didn't have time. And then in 2022, in like October, was when I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to pick this back up and see, like, you know, how I feel about it, how it works. And, you know, it just went from there. Which is why in like on like anniversaries, I'm like, I can't really do the whole like I react to my VTuber debut, because I never had a debut. I just started streaming. So yeah, which is, you know, usually what is recommended of like, you know, don't like overthink it, especially if like you don't know if you want to do this full time and stuff. Like just stream and see if you like it, and if you do, then, you know, start like working from there. But I don't know. Hello Igor, welcome. Happy birthday to you. Wish that all your dreams and plans will come true. Thank you for the birthday wishes, and thank you for being here. I appreciate it. But yeah, so biggest regret on YouTube, I don't, other than playing that game, maybe. I don't know. I guess maybe that one thing mayhaps is that for a while I made my Coco covers like my entire, not my entire thing, but my main thing, because I saw that those were getting views, and it was like, you know what, I need to like chase this as much as possible. And I wasn't even monetizing back then. I just wanted to like the algorithm to recognize me. But in the end, I ended up not liking that era so much. It felt more like I was obligated to do them, and that's what people knew me for more than anything. And I wasn't a particular fan of it. To this day, those covers I'm not really proud of. The only ones that I'm like, yeah, these turned out okay, were Proud Corazon and Un Poco Loco, which are like the last two I did. But the others, I'm like, people like them, and I'm glad they like them. Like that is the thing. Like, you know, the objective is to like make the people happy. You know, I have nothing towards that. Like that really is, you know, part of why I do what I do. But I guess I'm just not proud of my work then, you know. And there are a lot of old covers that I would be like, maybe I should, you know, redo that and all that. But those are like a product of its time, quite literally. Like I did what I could with what I had back then. And maybe I haven't been able to grow at like the rapid pace, you know, that pace that other people that, you know, started around the same time as me like did. But it's a learning process, I think. And usually when you pop off that fast, it's really hard to keep it up, you know, especially because the algorithm is like a always changing thing, and it's very finicky, and sometimes it does things that you don't understand, like how it happened to me when I went on break and I ended up like not really going on break because I was stressed out about like all my metrics going down. And then I was also working on the birthday projects that are releasing today. So my break was more of a break from streaming, so I had the time to work on the things that I wanted at a more leisure, no, not leisure, like a less rushed pace. So I wasn't like overworking myself. The real break will come tomorrow, probably, when I'll do maybe nothing. I don't know. But yeah, I think it's more maybe I would say establishing. I think it's not like, oh, I really regret this, but maybe I would have done it differently now that with what I know now, if I knew then what I know now. Beetlejuice, the musical reference. If I knew then what I know now, maybe I wouldn't have set out that weekly schedule for covers. Because in my ideal world, yeah, you can do super well produced covers every week. Which maybe you can, you know, if you have all the knowledge that you need for it to like come out really well done and all of that. Maybe you can. I don't have all the knowledge. I do the best that I can with what little I know and what I keep learning every day. So to make it less hard on myself, I would probably would have done like a bi-weekly, which is actually what my mom recommended. Funnily enough, my mom recommended me that like when I started. But I was like, no, I want to be consistent and I want to bring new things to the people every week. And I think I can sustain it. And she was like, okay. You know, I was still 17. Yeah, I was still 17 when I started recording for my first covers for the channel. So I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And I bought like the cheapest microphone I could afford and downloaded Audacity and hit film and then, you know, figure it out. So maybe I would have set like a little less of a, you know, grueling schedule for myself. But other than that, I think everything that I've done is really just a product of its time and what I've been able to do with what I have. And I think that's okay. You know, sometimes the dark thoughts come in and start like, oh, you shouldn't have done that, maybe you should have done this, oh, this now sucks. But when I really like think about it with a cool head, it's just, you know, that a product of its time, and it's fine. there can always be re-recordings now that I know how to do a couple more things, and or that I have like friends that are willing to help me if I need it, and if they're not too busy. So yeah, I think the only thing would be maybe like the schedule that I put for myself, and now I can't get out of it. But yeah, other than that, I think I'm pretty content with what I've done so far, and I hope I can do better things in the future. Neat. I can't wait to hear some re-recordings of those super old covers. I have a couple in my list now. The first one ever I never take into account, because that one I always said, like, if I hit 10 years, if I am somehow 10 years and still on YouTube, if I succeed in making this my full-time career, which for that you guys need to like and subscribe and recommend me to every single person alive. And support me on all my social media and all that jazz, if you can, of course, and stream my music on Spotify endlessly. That is actually very helpful to me. Times 10, yeah. I did say, like, if I had a 10-year anniversary, I wanted to redo my first ever cover. You know, it's probably just like a fresh coat of paint, because I don't think there's anything else I can add to that, as in like performance wise, or maybe I can and I don't know it yet, but it's more like an update, you know. It is good. More streaming will be done. Yes, good. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's why the first cover, which is It's Over, Isn't It, from Steven Universe. Back when my main source of covers was Steven Universe, it's the one that I would like redo on the 10-year anniversary. If I'm still here, like 3.5 years later, because it's all like the year is almost done. We're only like 4 months away from the year ending, which I'm like, how? This year flew past me so fast, or has, you know, been like blowing past me so fast. Maybe it was the trip to Japan where I, you know, it kind of felt like I was gonna say like an echo chamber, but it's more like time froze during that period of time I was away, and then when I came back, suddenly it was already March, and I'm like, wow. And then time started slipping away from my hands from there on. Leo, what? No, that can't be true. How are we only 4 months left? Don't say that. Yeah, I know. It's traumatizing, but it is true. So yeah, then the time started just escaping me after that, and I put so many projects on my plate that it's just been running by. But yeah, so when March hits again, it's gonna be the 7th anniversary. Like, the 7th anniversary is 7 months away, maybe 6. It's September, October, November, December, January, February. Yeah, 7 months away right now. So in 7 months, the channel is gonna be 7 years old. And I'm like, what? So, you know, if I stick around like 3.5 more years, I'll redo It's Over, Isn't It? But yeah. Now, the last question from Khan, at least from this section, because I know he asked like another 2 things later on, is who is or was your biggest inspiration? And now this one is also one of those hard ones, like the favorite fictional character, because it also, whoa, my model glitched. It also depends on the area. If we're talking like actors, are we talking about Hollywood actors? Are we talking about musical theater actors? Are we talking about just like methodology and stuff in general? Like, ooh, which one is the actor that you're like, I like this one, I like how they work? Are we talking about musicians? Are we talking about general artists? I have an answer for almost every one of those sections. Because, for example, I guess I'll just mention them all. If we're talking about Hollywood actors, I like Meryl Streep a lot. Meryl Streep was one of like my first inspirations of like I want to be like her when it comes to like acting. Then later on I discovered that maybe acting is not really my passion. I just like musical theater because I like performing with song. But in general I really like Meryl Streep's work. So she is like my favorite Hollywood actress, and one of my favorite movies of all time, unironically, is That Becomes Her, because I think it's really funny. And it now has a musical version on Broadway right now. What else? If we're talking musical theater actresses that I know of, my favorite one is Carrie Butler. I really like her voice. I really like how she talks about singing technique and her podcast that she has. And also, she speaks more on other things, but like connections and ways to get like your equity card and your credits for your equity card and all of that. But she also has a really great personality, which I think is rare these days in media. So, or at least as far as I've seen, she's just what she presents. So, and she has a lot of fun doing what she does. She really likes it. So I like her a lot. I think I've been away from musical theater for a bit, as in like being as informed as I used to be. But at least when I always come back to it, I think she's the one that I like the most, how she works on the medium. In the medium? It's probably in the medium. I never know. English is not my first language, folks. When it comes about like methodology in general and how they talk about like, oh, when you are doing a character like this, you have to take these things into consideration, because it's not only about like intentions and what's on the script, it's also about like physicality, body movement, taking into account the weight, the height, like yada yada, all that stuff. I think Maggie Robertson is a really good actress. I really only met her because of Resident Evil, because she's the voice and the mocap behind Lady Dimitrescu. But she goes really in detail as to what she had to take into account in order to like bring the character to life when doing the mocap. So, and especially because mocap is hard, because it's not like regular acting where you just grab things and have them like right in front of your face and stuff. You have to have it at a certain distance and simulate that you actually have it like right in front of your face, like you would usually grab things and stuff, because of the cameras that you have in front of your face. That are recording all your movements. It's kind of hard. It is really interesting how she goes on about that in detail. And not just that, but acting in general, because she studied like more Shakespearean acting in England. So there's a lot. Like, I know a lot of people don't really like Shakespeare, or at least from what I know of, because it sounds boring. But there's a lot of like method-wise, let's say, information-wise, you can learn a lot about acting with those plays, and I really like it. Yeah. If we're talking about music, I don't think I have. Well, yes and no. Like, it's not that, oh, I admire this person. It's more like I like their style, and I want to do stuff like them. Like, when I do my own original music, this is sort of like the style that I'm looking for. And for that, I have a couple. Recently added Yayloker. I think like their style is like, sort of bardy, old-timey, but still catchy, is the thing that I like the most. I cannot tell you how many times I've listened to Kid and Leverett. That style of music really, really, really resounds with me for some reason. So I like it a lot. I usually tend to like more songs that tell you stories rather than them being like super repetitive. Also, I do like, just regular music that is like that as well. Like, it's not like I'm deep and different or anything like that, but I tend to gravitate more towards that type of music, which is why I know a lot of people don't like her, and I understand why. And also lately her music has been a little samey, but that's why I also like Taylor Swift, because a lot of her songs are just stories, and you don't see a lot of like rhyming and repetition, as in like hearing like the same chorus 3 times in the same song, you know, that type of thing. I stopped drawing. I got too into that. I stopped coloring because I got too into that. But yeah, so that's why I like Gilligan Girl, I like Taylor Swift, I like Florence and the Machine, in that same vein of like telling stories and the style of music that is really like, it has something that I can't quite pinpoint that really draws me in, and I feel like draws a lot of other people in as well. So yeah, there's that. And who else? Oop, my YouTube chat broke over on my phone. Let me reload it. There we go. So yeah. And if we talk about VTubers, there's a lot. There's a lot, and a lot of different reasons why. But I guess to name a few, the one that started me into VTubing was Calliope Mori. I just like her attitude and her music. I think she's really great, and more people should know her. After that, I got a lot of Oshis, which I'll just name without getting too much into it, because we would be here for like another 2 hours probably. Or if you guys want me at the end, I can maybe get a little bit more into that. I almost never talk about like who I like in VTubing, because I don't know, I guess I thought I shouldn't really for a long time. I don't know if I was embarrassed or I didn't want to make like come off as too fangirly, even though I simp over the characters in my games. And I proudly announce myself as someone who fangirls a lot. I don't know. But other VTubers that I admire and like, and I wish I could like have some of their charisma as well, as I guess, are Josuiji Shindri, Gavis Battle. A lot of these are corpo VTubers, but I also like a couple of indies. Recently I discovered Iron Mouse's voice, like as in singing voice. I already watched clips of her here and there, but not a whole lot. And boy, her voice. Never have I wanted to be Ursula so strongly. in a good way, like not in a petty way, I guess. She has a really good voice, and it's incredible. I'm speechless. I follow Sayu a lot. I also follow Amelie, but I count her, and at the same time I don't count her, because I like her as a streamer, but I actually got to know her as a cover artist, you know, like way back in the day. Like she mainly does anime music, covers of Annie songs. I think that's how she started. I don't know if she started doing something else, but at least that's how I got to know her a long time ago. So that's why I like count her, but at the same time I don't, because she enters in like both spheres of singers and VTuber nowadays. Someone who's not a VTuber as far as I know, but she is cover artist, and it's really the reason why I decided that I did want to give like covers on YouTube a shot, is Anna Pantsu. She has a really good voice. I really admire her a lot. And I remember someone in one of my comments, I don't remember which song it was, but they were like, Anna Pantsu collab when? And I'm like, I wish. I could probably reach out, but I'm very bad at that. But maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll grow the guts to actually reach out and be like, hey, you want to collab? Who knows? Or will, you know, coincide in a project. I don't know. But yeah. Other VTubers. I like Porcelain Maid. I think Joel is really funny. I don't know. I really like his energy. I sometimes watch Bansoing Haka, who is a fellow Latino streamer. He's a corpo VTuber. He belongs to Holostars as well. But I don't get to watch him too often, but I do enjoy his streams a lot as well. He's really funny. And he's a metal singer and a really great one, in my opinion. Who else? I had someone else in mind and I'm forgetting right now. I follow a couple of other ones, but I follow them more like passively. I sometimes like catch clips. Ooh, actually, Elizabeth Roseflame, who just had her 3D debut, that woman also has like a super good voice. My god, powerful, nice, like so flexible. She has a like she can sing, I think, every genre in the world, and period. Because I've heard her sing in like very different like types of songs, and she nails all of them. I think from what I've seen and heard, her main thing is more like jazzy style, or at least the thing she likes the most from what I've seen. But really, every genre I've heard her sing in, she's just great, and I don't think she can't sing anything. She is really good, and man, I want that power. I want that power. Who else do I follow that are VTubers? Like, more passively, I do follow some from another company, male ones, that is called First Stage. Lucian and Cassian. I don't watch them too often, but I do like, I am subscribed to them, so from time to time I sometimes tune in. We're all fans of Sodu here. No surprise there. Oh, Iris also I like listening to sometimes. Gerard T-Rex Word is also a really charismatic and creative streamer, let's say. I had like another 5 that I like that have graduated that are also from the same company. I don't know if I should talk about them. Like, it's not like prohibited or anything. It's just that I don't want to open old wounds. Well, some are really recent, but you know. But yeah, I have a bunch that I passively, I guess, consume. But that's that. Okay. Next, I have questions from Maple, who's not here, but that's fine. If she watches the VOD, she'll get her answers. One of them is my favorite song that I've covered, and I'm aware that I'm not drawing right now. It's just that I got too into the whole like, who do you admire question. Also, what else am I missing? I think I only need like a little shade. I need to make this less dark first off. Is this one? No, it is this one. Okay, so like that. I only need to add like a little bit of here. Now I'll remove the excess in a sec. But my favorite cover so far, there's a bunch of deleted ones. But I don't necessarily think this would be like my number one favorite. I do have a playlist that is like called Leo's favorites. But from all the covers I've done, It's a shame that so many of the server apparently couldn't make the stream. Yeah, I figured because it's a weekend, and all that. The advantage was that the last time it was during the week, which is when people usually watch my streams. But you know, that's why the bot exists. Yee. Ooh, favorite cover. Why have I covered so many songs? Let me go to my playlist. That will narrow it down. I would say one of them could be Enemy. One of them could be Friend Like Me. I sort of only have time for weekend streams now. Yeah, I know. It's a bummer, but it's fine. You're getting your money, dude. Like, that's more important. Ooh. One that I think still holds up pretty well, it's We Don't Talk About Bruno. I put my everything into that cover back in the day, and I really, really like how it turned out. Tot Musica is also one that I'm particularly proud of. Especially because back then I was very caged into what type of covers I could do. And that one proved to me that I can just do whatever I want if I want to. I mean, put the effort in. Shinigami I think is an underappreciated one that I really like how it turned out. For the most part. Goddish is also one of the covers I'm proud of. As well with Writing on the Wall because of how hard it was to record those. At least like certain elements of them. White Winter Hymnal, I like how the harmonies turned out. And also I got a lot of bruises from all the clapping and leg slapping for the let's say percussions. Ooh, Do As I Say is also really good. Oh my god. This playlist, I have so many that I'm like, I wish people like these more. Because I am very proud of them. But a favorite one from these. God Games was also a really good one, but I don't know if that counts because that's a collab, like group cover. I'm not the only one there singing, so I don't know if that counts. Dangerous, it's a strong contestant. It sucks though because this community means so much to me and I don't want to fade away from it. You won't, don't worry. We all know. We all know you're still here. You know, life is just like that sometimes. It's like how you sometimes stop seeing friends because you just don't have the time anymore. It's not that you don't want to hang out. But the good ones remember. Or at least that's how I see it. The good ones always remember. So, you won't fade away, don't worry. There's an upcoming one that I'm really, really happy with. I think Dangerous is a really good contestant. Ruler of My Heart is also one that I was quite happy with how it turned out. Even though in the beginning I wasn't quite liking my performance of it. I re-recorded it so many times until eventually I was like, you know what, I think this is good. The concept of time, who even invented it? Humanity. I mean, it exists, but we all gave it a label and here we are now. Okay, I'm gonna say like this playlist is public, by the way. You can find it in like my playlist section. It's called Leo's Personal Faves. And there are all the new covers there, but from the ones that I'm like seeing here right off the bat, I would like think that I remember like I'm like, yeah, this one is solid, even with the old mic. Friend Like Me from Aladdin. I think The Moon Rises was also decent, which is like the first one. Come Little Children is also one that I'm particularly proud of. Enemy from Arcane. We Don't Talk About Bruno, I think still holds up to this day. For the most part at least. Tot Musica always has a special place in my heart. Shinigami is one that I wish more people like gave a chance to, and I understand why it didn't do so well. It's because it's not really from anything. It's from an artist, a Japanese artist. So yeah. Goddish as well. I really like how it turned out. Aiste. I remember being super proud of that one when it came out. I think I would change a couple of things nowadays, but I still think overall it's pretty solid. Writing on the Wall, same thing. I think it holds up pretty well. When with their Hypno, I like the final result, especially the harmonies. I think I pat myself in the back with that. Do As I Say is also a really good one for me personally. Hell's Great is that. Also, it was a lot of fun to record. I didn't know everyone was cutting the Mimsy part because apparently no one liked Mimsy. I don't hold any particular like strong emotion towards her, but I was like, I'll leave it in because it's part of the song, right? But apparently a lot of people cut that section because we all agree that that's like a little disturbing. Like it cuts the whole fun of the song just because of how abrupt it is, and it's like this is not why I'm here for in the song, and it changes the whole vibe. But even that I think I did okay. But the song overall, I really like how it turned out. You Didn't Know is more like me trying to voice act rather than me like properly singing, but apparently a lot of people liked it. And I also think I did pretty well. Not necessarily like on my top list, but I think it's a pretty decent cover. Iterashai I really like, and I also wish more people liked it more. Same with the Road No Taken. Even though I'm not doing anything crazy in it, I really like how it turned out. And it's also where a lot of lore got like a little more fleshed out after I had my revelation with Mephisto. I remember being particularly proud about Thunderbringer. I've been thinking of doing a re-recording just because I now have an instrumental that I can use. But I don't know. Little Wolf, I am always proud of. I think it's one of my best performances. I think Mr. Showtime is also one that I'm like more into like the voice acting sections rather than anything else. I wish I gave myself more time to do Love in Paradise because I had just gotten sick when I recorded that, and there are a couple of sections where I'm like, maybe I should have waited. God Games, I think everyone did amazing. I'm really proud of that collab. Same 600 Strike, more the voice acting thingy is what I'm proud of. Dangerous, I think overall is a really good song. I even surprised myself with that one. Ruler of My Heart and Your Idol, you guys haven't heard it yet, but yeah. I Stay is how I ended up here, #1 cover for me. Yeah. I faintly remember a Demon Slayer cover leading me here. It's probably either the Kamado Tanjiro no Uta song, the Kamado Tanjiro song, or one of the openings, which no longer exist on YouTube, I am afraid. Because of the whole copyright thing. If I manage to either pay someone to do the instrumentals, do them myself, or find a way to, get a proper instrumental that doesn't get copyright claimed, I will redo them, because I also I was particularly proud of a bunch of Demon Slayer covers. But they're also available on the Patreon if you guys want to see those again. Both the audio and the videos. Lately I started uploading the old videos that I had to take down over on the Patreon, so yep. Write that down. Oh, confused. You're so not ready for what's about to come. Wait, what? Who said that? I don't know. But yeah. So Your Idol hasn't premiered yet. It's premiering tomorrow, but man, am I so happy about that one. Man, am I happy with that one. I think out of all of these that I mentioned, probably Dangerous, I think, is the one that holds up the best. So I would say Dangerous. Yeah. It's one that I re-listen to from time to time, a lot. So, Dangerous, close second coming, probably Ruler of My Heart, or The Road Not Taken. For me personally, I see the new lore video coming up. Even before that, Mephisto is a re-recording, but yeah. It's not only a re-recording. It's a rework of the entire MV. Yay, Dangerous, yeah. I'll share if you guys want, the Leo's personal faves on the server, so you guys can check some of those out that I think are underrated personally. But yeah. It's just that I have a bunch of covers. Which is also why I kind of regret doing the weekly thing. But, you know, because a lot of them just get lost in the pile. But then YouTube thinks I'm no longer relevant and shuns me away. So I kind of can't get out of that. But my laptops are currently broken, so I can't even take notes on anything right now. Do it on a pen and paper. The old way, confused. How do you think I write things down? You can also just rewatch the videos if you need to. That's fine too. Also, the spiel. I haven't done the spiel. It's just been zoomed down on the teeth for a while. Where's the tongue color? I think I'm almost done with this one. And then I wanted to do something else, but I don't know if we'll have time because it's almost been 2 hours. I'll probably also speed up the premiere times if I manage to finish this. The questions before that, which I doubt, but you know. Okay, next question. Your favorite detail on your model or my slash design? Let me pull up my reference sheet. Instant connections. Ah, I see. That's fine. Hold on. I think you sent me a screenshot once of your notes, but I don't know if they're the same anymore. Where do I have streaming? B-tour stuff, reference sheets. My boat is on the wings, the ones that are never seen. Oh. It's just that they would block a lot of the screen, so that's why they don't come out often. Like, look. See, like, they cover the sub goal. If I'm playing a game, it will probably cover like a section there. There are more notes and it's just a scrambled. Oh, okay. I like how the rig for them came out though. Like, you know, I was pretty proud of that when I was rigging this model, of how they just pop out. Maybe I'll have them out more often, every now and then. But yeah, I think from this, sadly they are not visible because of my long sleeves, but the hands, like the dark mode hands, I am particularly very happy with how they are, like the design. The eyes have changed a little bit from the first Inception, but I was also very proud of like how I managed to rig those. The Umbrax insignia was also created during the model creating process. So, you have those model in? Yeah. I just never show them. And also the hands, but again, because of my sleeves, they're not visible. See? Look. The only problem is that they don't blink. I don't know why. Something went wrong with the rigging that I never noticed until recently, that they just don't blink. Which I think makes it more eerie, but you know. But they are in. And also, where is the B2? There we go. And also, like, Ignore the watermark if it appears. See, because I had to make the sleeves like more transparent. It looks transparent-ish here, like the arms, but here are like the dark hands, right? Ignore the watermark of VTube Studio, but the hands are also like, you know, model in, and the only problem is that you can tell the difference between the skin and the arm, like in the normal section of the arm, the non-corrupted section, because of the sleeves, because they're also dark. I kind of didn't take that into account when I was modeling everything until it was too late. So yeah, I like, for example, I'm laughing, but these don't close. I'm closing my eyes right now, and these are just open, but they move. You know? So yeah. There we go. And I have a bunch of toggles that I just never use, like this one. This one I have used more recently because of the RE streams. My glasses, I almost never use them these days. Here's the sweat. The eye bags, and then this. This one doesn't move anything, but you know, it's still kind of funny. I just did it because it was funny, and then I just never used it. And these as well. These ones like also came out with a little bit of a bug there, because it shows my normal eyes like very lightly, but if I move a certain way they look white completely, but it's really hard to catch. There, and they're gone. Yeah. They just turn into our souls. Yeah. This is the blush. The hearts, glasses, this with the sweat, and then this. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have aside from like expressions. Well, and the coat that I almost never use as well. Yeah. Toggles are fun. You just, well, if you're like me, I guess you just never. I think a lot of VTubers almost never use their toggles unless they're like, they have it on like 24/7. So yeah. Or for different outfits, you know. I think this feel is done. What do you guys think? Oh, I minimized the thing, never mind. I also got lore-related questions, but I'll see if I answer those in a bit. Yeah, you can't really add much else. Feel is completed. Let's go. Simple background, maybe. Oh yeah, like my intention is to make these like sort of like small profile pictures ish. I also am starting to fear that I'm not gonna get time to do the others, but we can do it on other streams as long as I schedule art streams. It would be more like, well, I can't really, maybe, let's see. If I do this, ooh, not quite what I was looking for. What sort of background does this have? No, actually, it's easier to just make like a normal circle and then expand it. Yeah. And then let's just shape it Oh, that's too thick, actually. Too dummy thick. Hold on. Transform. Here. Huh. Uh-huh. And then white. Or maybe actually just a lighter blue, like this. I like that. Just expand it a little bit and then do this. I have a lot of notifications coming in. I'm sorry. And maybe just add a couple of polka dots. I like polka dots. Which would be bigger ones though. Come on. Just do bigger polka dots. It's fine. Okay. I'll erase this one. What? No, I want to eraser selector. There we go. And then just spread them around. Yeah. Huh. No, I don't like that one. And one last one over here. I feel like there's too much in some areas and too little on others. I think this is okay. This is balance. Streams can be great. They're basically just chattings. Yeah. I just opened the closet and found stuff of mine that I am certain hasn't seen the light of day in years. Wait, what can you hear though? Who do you hear? But yeah. Transparent. POPP. On downloads. Let's go. Alright. Just because I don't think I'm gonna have time for another one, let's just go to the room. Yeah. You see, there are all my promotionals there. Anyway, rapid fire a couple of questions real quick. I'll see if I talk about lore in a bit. What are you doing in your free time during breaks not related to work? I think the only thing that I do that is not related to work, it's my instrument playing, which is not really something that I do for a hobby. It's more like I do in my classes, and sometimes when I have time I practice at home. But outside of that, either listening to music just because and trying so hard not to let be like, oh, I need to make a cover of this. And reading books, and fan fiction. I think really my main hobby these days is just reading. Is the only thing that I'm not like, I need to make content out of this. I can make content out of this. I know that's probably not very healthy, but it's just that everything that I like were my hobbies, and now it's my job. So, yeah. Hello, Metallic Fruit. Welcome. Do you have book recommendations? Lately, I'm reading one that it's called, well, it's a 2-part, but you can read just the first one and leave it as that as well. It's called My Days at Morisaki Library, something like that. My Days at Morisaki Bookshop, not library, bookshop. Days at the Morisaki Bookshop. So hello, Vampire Miranda. It's been a bit. Thank you. Nice to see you here. How old are you now? 24. One step closer to death. I'm 24 now. Can you believe that? It feels even odd to say, like, oh yeah, I'm 24. Gosh. Yeah, right now I'm reading that one. Well, the sequel, which is More Days at Morisaki Bookshop. Yeah, I really liked it. It's pretty chill. Not like the greatest story of all time, but I really like it. It's been pretty chill. I actually started reading it like the first one during my break, and then I finished it in like 3 days, and I was like, I need the second part. I need more. Old lore will claim Leo is hundreds of years old. Old lore would be like I'm 2083 or something. Because I remember at the view it was like I'm 2080, and so I think I would be like 2082 now, or something like that. Because time passes differently for vampires than it does for humans, but you know, details. But yeah. What else? Yeah, I think just reading is what I do in my free time. And hanging out with friends, you know, go watch movies, that kind of thing. Do you like Weenie from Cold Front? Yes, Maple. I like both characters. I think they're both great, even if you hate the protagonist. Any book that makes you go, I need more is a good book. I'll check it out. Okay. Thank you for singing happy birthday. Thank you. What else? Wait, what time is my premiere? I'm like, what time is my premiere? Just to make sure I don't go overtime. Videos. Okay, we're good. Yeah. Also, I just like, for example, the Sherlock Holmes novels in general a lot. So I would also recommend those. For people who have not read them. I have a gigantic book that's over 1,000 pages that it's like a compilation of every story. So I haven't even like fully read it myself, but I really like it. The song is tomorrow, today is the lore. We have both a song and the lore today, so double the lore. And Your Idol cover is tomorrow. Yes, actually this stream is redirecting into the cover, and then the cover redirects into the lore. So yeah. What's your favorite part about making covers? The recording process, and when I have a really good, like a very clear idea of what I want to do for the video editing. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see the cover? Yeah. Back. Tyler going all tsundere. But yeah, favorite part of making covers is probably the recording process, because it's when I get to like experiment and be like, ooh, or frustrate myself because I don't like what I'm doing. I think overall it's just like the recording part, and then the art, and then video editing can be like grueling, but I do like it. The only thing that I don't like is the mixing. I have yet to make my peace with that. I think the recording and the art part, and then sprinkle in the video editing when I have like really clear idea of what I want to do for the MV. Will you ever be open to hiring help? When I have the money to not just like pay, you know, my own stuff and live, like, you know, make a living out of that money, but also have enough that I can be like, yeah, I can pay this person to do this. Absolutely. Happy birthday. Thank you. Very sorry if I mispronounce your name. Ricky Game Rickle, I think that's an L. Gaming? Thank you. Sorry if I butchered your name, I'm sorry. I should have known Maple would ask that. Tyler's still enslaved for free because he wants to. Actually, the next question is his, and it's when can I work on more covers? when can I work on more covers? Is his question. So I'm not enslaving him. He's enslaving himself. Depends, because the ones that I have right now are like already halfway like on work. So unless I come up with something new and I'm like, and there's enough time for you to actually edit them, because sometimes I do things in a rush, I will send you some, don't worry. It's just that I haven't, like, it's not like in April, I think it was, that I was like, oh yeah, I have these covers ready for you to edit, go ahead. I don't have that right now. So that's why. Then the other two questions that... Oh, I see Pine deleted his question. Sag is also law related. I was gonna answer, but still. Well, I'm gonna answer some things anyway. Then we're back to Khan with, what's your opinion on seals and do you plan on making women real? Which, I don't know how I would do that last one. But opinion on seals, they're cute. 9 out of 10, yeah. I'm sorry I couldn't think of any question I haven't asked before, so I sent this a question. No, don't worry. I know it was just like for funsies. Thank you, Vampire Miranda, thank you. Yeah, I know it was just for funsies, don't worry. But yeah. I think those are all the questions on the Discord server, aside from... wait, why am I tagged here? Oh, it's just Con being Con. Aside from Maple, and also Pine had asked something about this. What are you doing your... No. Hand me your lore because it's one day after my birthday, trust. I think Pine had asked, like, what is your lore, period? If I wanted to say it. Here's the thing. Let me see what I can talk about. And the reason why I say what I can talk about is because, like I've been teasing for a long time, I have a project with the lore, which is why I don't want to reveal everything. That's why I don't outright tell you what the lore is. Unfortunately, that project has been on hold for a little bit, since I think June, because my break happened and all of that, and then I had to take care of a bunch of stuff aside from just the the birthday projects. Happy birthday crown on your head. I sadly didn't have the time to make one, that's why I don't have it, but yeah, I should have done that. It's once again Oshinoko, the previous one is still so precious to me. Which one? The previous version? Or Idol? Or which one? I don't know. Take down? Oh wait, is it Harpy Hair? Because Harpy Hair was like 2 weeks ago, I think. No, 3 weeks ago. Oh my god, time flies. The latest cover I think is Take Down. Yeah. Was it last year? Did I make a cover last year? Oh no, wait. Are you referring to what's the song? Fansa. That one was fun. I really like that one. Yeah, Fansa. I forgot about Fansa. I don't know why. That one was really fun. Oh, there it is. The notification of like in 30 minutes premiere. Mephisto. This one is special in a different way. Fansa was really more of a thank you. Because again, it was originally supposed to be like an anniversary thingy. Things just happen around my anniversary where everything gets hectic and I'm like, I don't have time to do these things. Maybe I should just start doing them from now and avoid that. I don't know. But yeah. So unfortunately that back to business lore wise. Unfortunately that lore project has been on hold for a bit because a lot of stuff came up. A lot of stuff happened. I was also I can't speak. I was also not in a very good place mentally at the time. So I was like, you know what, I can't keep writing this when I'm not in the headspace, you know? And so it's been on hold for a little bit. I prioritize the birthday projects first. If everything goes well, I'll probably get back into it like within the next 2 weeks, maybe. Because guess what? Next week is the Ado concert and I'm freaking out. And I'm going with Ibra and it's gonna be so hype. So next week I'm probably not gonna be able to work on a whole lot of stuff either. But probably in like 2 weeks I'll be able to get back into that. I follow you on Twitter. Thank you. But yeah, that's why I don't outright tell you what the lore is. It's because I am working on something. It's just taking longer than I originally wanted. And I'm hoping, my goal is, but I'm hoping that it will come out next year. My idea was this year, but a lot of unplanned stuff happened and then I just wasn't able to. But my goal is next year. And that's also why sometimes I need a little bit more time to myself, quote unquote, because working on this thing is gonna be a whole lot. But yeah, what I can tell you lore-wise is that aside from the playlist that I did with all the covers where I've hinted towards things and stuff, is that I recently revealed to you the name of another character on the server. You're making it sound like it's a whole lore movie album. Sort of. Let's say something similar to that. It is a big scale project. Let's say it's something similar to that. But yeah. I lost my train of thought. Hold on. That is so much more than I expected possible. But yeah, so what I can tell you is that yeah, the other, let's call them character, is Draven, which is, you know, the blue turtleneck girl that appears sometimes in covers. I place her in covers that I think fit her more than Leo. IRL Leo, talking about Lord Leo. And she's a character that has existed for around, like, not in this current form, she's evolved a lot over the years, but let's just say that it's an OC, I guess, that has existed since 2013, so over 10 years. Her current inception is more like 5 years old? No, 4 years old. 3 to 4 years old. Honestly, I always assumed that Raven was just Leo but in different clothes. Yeah, I saw. I know that a lot of people thought that. I always try to like differentiate her with the blue eyes and the long hair. Yes, Vampire Miranda, I did read your message the first time. Please refrain from spamming. Thank you for following me on Twitter, though. Thank you, thank you. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. I did try to differentiate her with the eyes and the long hair. But again, because in the early days, I was just playing around with the idea, and the original story was different. Really? Oh yeah, I remember. Was it Pine or who was that? YouTube has, for some people, it sends like the same message multiple times. Maybe it's that. Yeah, I remember someone mentioning it, but I don't remember if it was Pine. It was probably Maple. But yeah. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So, in the early days, I was just playing around with the idea, and then the story wasn't fully fleshed out, nor did I really think of doing anything with it outside of like just vaguely hinting at things on covers. But I forgot what I was saying with that. But the point is that I put her in like the covers that she's in is on purpose. And the lyrics don't necessarily are like, oh, they're telling of this part of the story or whatever. Especially like before is Yasobi's song Idol as well? I'm so brain rotted with K-pop Demon Hunters that I don't remember if the call from Yasobi is called like Idol, period. Yeah, Idol. It's so odd to like just see the name Idol. Now, but yeah, so Idol onwards is when the story shifted. But even prior to that, Raven was placing like specific covers just because I thought it fitted her better what the nature of her was at the time, not necessarily because the lyrics mean anything. After Idol is when I started taking into account lyrics for some covers, where I started placing her, or I placed both Leo and her. The reason why the Canaria covers worked for me a lot when starting to like place her was because a lot of them are a little bit about like duality and stuff, and that was what worked for me at the time. I technically told a whole story with the One Piece film Red covers back then, but I think 4 out of those 8 covers or 5 out of those 8 covers are no longer available because of the whole copyright reason again. I only left up the ones that were relevant back then, for me at least, or most relevant, not that the others weren't necessarily, which are Fleeting Lullaby, Tot Musica, and what's the name of this one? The World's Continuation. There's actually a callback to one of those frames in a future cover that's happening next week. Where the Wind Blows was also a cover that was sort of relevant, but because it no longer is, and also the whole copyright thing is no longer available. But I left those 3 that I think are like the most central. The most central for the original basic idea. What do you mean, Leah? I was about to say I was confused why messages were sending multiple times. I'm going to spit through it all again. Yeah. But for the current lore, like those ones are good for giving yourself an idea of why Raven exists, I guess. in this lore, in this timeline. But the ones that are more relevant nowadays, like for the current state the story is in, are Idol onwards. I think I've mentioned before which ones are like the key ones in my opinion. Let me go to the lore playlist. Which is also why I have the lore playlist like very high up so I can see everything. And I think the description of it is like ever evolving, ever changing. Or I think I changed it to something else. But for example, Yudori Shirazu is the first cover which she was fully drawn as she is now, technically. Because prior to that, the only telling was the eyes. Which I think is why a lot of people just thought that it was a different version of Leo. But Yudori Shirazu was the first one where I was like, okay, this is what she sort of looks like, you know, like on her own. And then Footing Lullaby is when I gave her like the full form, I guess. Requiem is where I tried to showcase like that they're both different people ish. I know you have a name confused that is very ingrained in your brain, which is Brianna. And it's gonna break your brain a bit. But Brianna is no longer really relevant anymore. Which is why she hasn't made any appearances since Ikanaide. I'm sorry. She is an OC of mine, but she hasn't been relevant for a while. I have a vague recollection about a lot of faceless characters, or at least repetition. Is that a separate OC? Leo, come on. I'm sorry. Leo lied to me so much. It changed after after Idol, okay? Before that, she was very much relevant, but now she's no longer relevant. I'm sorry. I'll just admit that outright instead of like letting you still believe that Brianna is relevant. Faceless characters, I am assuming you mean like more recent covers, like after your Idol, a lot of scratch faces. Those are relevant. One of them, I guess you could say it's a rework of what Brianna used to be. But yeah, Brianna is no longer relevant. Don't try not to break your head over that. But basically, a rework happened, and so Brianna got cut off the story, let's say, and reworked into something else. But in reality, this other character is both a rework of Brianna, but also its own character in and of itself. The funny thing is that character started as an audition character that I had for other things. And yep. One of the first Canaria covers. Unless it's Queen, I don't remember having any faceless characters that weren't Leo and Raven. Queen, yes. Yeah, that was supposed to be like Leo, but sort of like, oh, is it Leo because she has blue eyes? But in reality, it was just that the blue eyes fitted better, like the ambience of the cover. And that was like sort of my way of starting to introduce the idea, but not really. You know? So that's why I also took Queen out of the playlist, because I thought that was gonna be like very confusing. So that's why I took it out of the equation. It was sort of where I started planting the seeds, let's say, of the idea of there being someone else outside of Leo. But yeah, wait, Queen is out. Yeah, Queen is out of the playlist. I think it's also out of YouTube. I think more relevant to what, like, a better version of what I was trying to do with Queen nowadays is Be My Guest. I feel like. And MB Baby and King is also where I did like the whole duality thingy. And Your Idol is when I did the switch of like things. I think the first one from this list that started being relevant lyric-wise in a sense, because not all the lyrics apply, is Everything Goes On, because that's when I started introducing like the faceless characters. And then after Do As I Say is included just because there's a little flash of something in there, and also Raven and Leo are both there, but it's lyric wise and all of that, it's not really relevant. It's more like visually a little bit. Yes, Vampire Miranda, thank you. I'll check it out later. Thank you. Then there's the road. Well, there's the first lore video ever, and then there's the road note taken, which is also relevant. I think that one is relevant in every sense, because that one is like a cover of a Genshin song, but it was inspired because it had everything that I wanted to sort of like portray, lore-wise and everything. So it's also a really pretty song, but in general, like lyrics, visuals, and the song of origin, I guess, is really telling, in my opinion. Going on then was also pretty like straight up. I thought I was being like very straightforward with that one. Then there's the other two lore videos. The Line explores a little bit more about the dynamic between both Leo and Raven. Last Cup of Coffee I included because I put like flashbacks and stuff. And flowers have meanings. Hey, flowers have meanings. But like the song itself is not necessarily like, it can fit, but it's not necessarily relevant. IMO. So yeah. Same thing with Vich and All In. I included flashbacks in those. They're very small ones, and those are the only like relevant things. At most in Vich, like outside of like the little flashbacks, dynamics are also important, but like the songs themselves, like on their own, don't really matter for those. Harpy Hair, because it was like me outright telling you who this person is by the mask. Yeah. I was raised by like Five Nights at Freddy's and MatPat and stuff when it comes to lore things, so I'm sorry if I have a hard time being like straightforward with story. What's my birthday present? Likes and dislikes? I don't think I have a particular likes and dislikes for birthday presents, as far as I'm aware. Like, I don't know, what would you mean? Like, you know, I like books. I like I like money. I like, well, usually my friends get me stuff from media that they know that I like, so that's why I'm like not very, I don't have like a particular like, ooh, I like this. I'm just like, you know, if you can get me anything from this franchise, example Cable Demon Hunters, I'm like, you know, I'll appreciate it, and that's that, and they'll figure it out if they can or not, and that's also fine. We need a list of specific items as if you're a Stardew Valley character. Yes, like the one that likes to eat rocks. I'll make one some other day. A cinnamon challenge? Ooh, no, that's dangerous. Sorry. That one is dangerous, so no, I wouldn't meddle with that. Sorry. Okay, back to the covers. And then after Harpy Hair comes Mephisto and a couple of other things that are not yet released, including in those things the Ford lore cover. So, I mean, Ford lore video. So yeah, Abigail, my beloved. I think a lot of people like Abigail. A lot. I do also need to start playing Stardew Valley. I haven't. I know it's gonna consume my life. But yeah. So that's it for the playlist. So yeah, what I can tell you is that, you know, Leo and Raven are two different characters, let's say. Yeah, they're two different characters. There's someone else in the mix that is not who's Sean Evans? Actually don't know. Is that like famous program from is it YouTube program, or did they just upload those there? It will consume your life, no need for IRL friends and family, and the digital one is right. Yeah, right, like who's Sean Evans? If it is the Spice One challenges, I don't think unless they invite me, which I highly doubt. I don't know. But also, I don't like Spice, so I don't know if I would accept regardless. But yeah, so two different characters. There's a third character that is important. And there are more characters outside of them, but so far, like, the central ones are 3. Okay? Leo, Raven, and someone else. You'll figure it out. Outside of that, like, the other things are important to the story, but are not the things that I really want you to focus on right now, let's say. So, like, if you're, like, into wanting to figure out sort of where the story is going and all of that, definitely do check out. I'll do the hot sauce challenge with Leo instead. Nice. Scare Leo one with the well, 4 characters, I guess, but yes and no. Dark mode Leo is in a nebulous area, let's say. Oh yeah, the hot ones. Yeah, no, unless he invites me, I don't think I can really, like, go collab with him. Really. Who eats spoons of olive oil? No. Like, I know they're good for you, but, like, not a lot of them. Yeah, I don't think I would be able to handle, like, the hot one spices either. So, I think we'd both be on the same boat. Yeah. So, we're like 8 minutes before the premiere. Quick, what else would you like to know about lore that I can answer fast? You just never had tasty olive oil. The problem is the consistency, I think. I don't know. So yeah. Let's see if we have any rapid, like, lore questions that I can maybe answer. But outside of that, again, 3 characters, technically 4, but Dark Mode Leo is something we're not ready to get into. Just know she exists. But yeah. I've actually never tried any of the hot sauces. So I sadly I don't have a favorite. I am horrible with on the spot questions, don't worry. It's only if you have them. If you don't, then we'll just wait until, like, it's, well, it's only a minute before it's 5 minutes, so, you know. Whee. I'll probably yap about something else anyway, if we don't have questions. Dark mode Leo is so prevalent everywhere though. Hehe. There is a reason, but I can't get into that. That is one of the things that I can't get into if I want to preserve a bit of the story for the project I'm working on. She is important though. Like, she is important, but, you know. I think she makes a brief appearance in one of the new videos that's coming out right now. Or about to come out. So. I think. I don't remember actually. No, she does, but like it's very minimal. Also, I want to reiterate that Leon is just a joke character for April Fools, and he has nothing to do with the actual lore, okay? I do have to emphasize that so people don't get confused. Like, confused. Leon is not relevant to the lore at all. He's just a joke character that I came up with, like, on the spot. Okay, current headcanon theory that I'm making up without having thought about the lore in months. Leo went to our world and split her personality, leaving our world behind. Oh, interesting. I like that. Some things are right, some things are not. I'll just say that. But I like the theory. It's interesting. I'll just say that. Hehe. You're like sort of on the right track. Sort of. Hehe. But yeah, so I guess quick summary of everything. One cover and one lure video coming out today. Tomorrow my Your Idol cover comes out. And today's my birthday. You already knew that. More lore related covers coming up soon. And big project hopefully coming up next year. I hope to have something I can show you sometime soon. I hope. I can't promise anything, but I hope. I almost said a word. And yeah, stream my music, follow me everywhere, and if you can, support me on Patreon and Ko-fi. I briefly thought it was a twin sister, but the existence of Brianna made that wrong and now redundant, so I am lost there for now. I could say things, but I don't know if I should say things about the twin sister thingy. Leon was a great informant though, right before he got redacted on record. Yeah, he gets bodied every time. He'll probably get bodied again next year. Alright, 2 minutes before premiere. I think this is a good time to wrap up. I'm sorry I didn't do more drawing, but trust me, we would not have been able to finish everything. That says enough. I'll look more into the sibling theory. Good. Oh my god, I can't wait. I can't wait. I can't wait. Please be there at the premiere of the cover and the lore video. Yeah. Sadly, this is about all the time I have for today, because I have to get ready for my friends that come over later. So yeah. And all the stuff that needs to be ready by then. I'll be there with you guys on the premiere, so don't worry. Next week is gonna be a normal week, probably a 3-day stream week, so yep. I'll be continuing Resident Evil and probably Genshin as well, so be there if you can. Yeah, thanks so much for coming, thanks so much for being here. I love sharing my birthday with you, so I hope you guys had fun. And yeah, I'll see you on the premiere. All right, let me take you to the ending screen before I keep on yapping, because it's 1 minute away. And I really want you guys to be there, so yeah. With that, guys, thanks so much for coming, thanks so much for being here and giving me a couple of your hours. Have a nice rest of your day, night, evening, wherever you live. Happy time zone.
And I'll see you guys soon. Alright? Thank you for being here again. Bye bye!